So we are live.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alok Kumar, and I am from Global Education and Training Institute. And today, I would like to welcome you all in this wonderful session of Disruptive Education Movement. Today, we have a very wonderful guest, Mr. Anjani Kumar Singh. He is working as an academic trainer since last 7 years, and he is right now working with Amazon as a trainer. And today he is going to discuss the ideas and thoughts about sports yoga during classroom. So I would like to thank you, Mr. Anjani sir, for becoming a part of disruptive education movement. And I
Thank you.
request to him that he can share the ideas to the audience so they can feel blessed. Thank you. Anjani sir,
Thank you,
please
Alok.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Alok sir, and I'd like to thank Global Education and Training Institute for giving me this wonderful uh, opportunity. And I'm really thankful to all the audience who are joining and they want to know something about it, the sports yoga and activities during classes, because we all talk about classes and the study and the subject, but we merely talk about the activities. But I think the students, they really like the fun, they really like the activities. So the more activities, the more they can learn. So that's why we want to make it more of activity based learning rather than just learning, because we know that current scenario is all about information. So I used to wonder, like in during my time, information used to be of so much of use because there was no technology. But in today's world or in today's era, everyone can access everything from formula to stories, from everything. So I question that why do we need a teacher, and a teacher especially who is just going to give information to students and the class becomes boring and monotonous. So to overcome this monotony, we need to have something as activities so that we can make it little of bit of fun with learning. So it will be the blend of the two factors. So we have learning and we have activities, and the best possible way is to interact more and more with the students. So those days are gone when we used to think that teachers have very authoritarian kind of role to play in a student's life. Today, we need to be as their teachers, a teacher who they can look up to as a friend and as a well wisher, and they can share their problems easily. Because after parents, it is us, we the teachers, who can transform their lives, and thus we can transform the life of of our country. So now I'll come back to the topic. I'll talk about like what really is a sports yoga and activities. So yoga is a very nice term. We say yoga in English in South India, but in Hindi we say yog. So yog means to combine. So there is a some Sanskrit. I'm not very good in Sanskrit, but I remember one some shlok or some part of Sanskrit. Yoga anena yujate anena iti yoga means it just combines the thing. So when your mind body are in sync, you are the perfect person to do anything you want to do, whether be it study, sports, or whatever be it. And the other thing is that when you try to blend sports as in I'm talking about general sports. So I take cricket, which is widely played across the nation, and the second one is football, which is second favorite to me, because football is all about having your energy throughout the game, maintaining the same intensity. And now I'll try to give you one example, like how sport yoga can work and how we can utilize it and apply it so that it becomes a good thing for both a student and teacher. So suppose you are trying to teach mathematics, like to kids who are from up to from the range of 5 to 10 years of age. They are trying to teach them mathematics, but they are more interested in cricket. So how are you going to do it? Maybe you can go on a cricket field, you can teach them how to do it through some activity. So you can show them how to hold a bat at 90 degree, and you can tell them that this is the 90-degree, this is the way to handle the bat, and 90-degree, this is like 60-degree or 45-degree. When you hit the ball at the angle of 45-degree, it goes quite far, because that's the angle, that takes the ball or the trajectory of the ball quite far, right? When you want to teach them about geometry, you can talk about football, how it's going to one person to other person and another person. But the other question I thought would be like, not all of us are interested in sports, so they can just be witness of it. They can observe how the things are working. So I know that we all like our peers, our classmates and batchmates to do something and then take more interest. So you must have been, you all of you must have been in some scenario or situation where your teacher asked one of your friend to do something, and all of us just wanted to see how is he doing good or not. So that kind of thing is very, very important. So when we take that kind of thing like cricket or football and other people witnessing and observing how the things are working, then they can obviously be very keen to learn. So people who are not interested at all in playing cricket or football, they can still witness and learn these things. So this is one example that I wanted to give. And now I'll talk about one small thing, small but still very important. I'll talk about, there was one research done on yoga in America. I don't remember the city name exactly. So there they categorize the students in two groups. So one of the group, sorry, one of the group, or one bunch of students, they were given two asanas and pranayam, two asanas and one pranayam. So two asana you can take anything like Paschimottanasana or some anything flexibility exercise you can take, and pranayam as um, Anulom Vilom or Bhramari. And these students, during their class or their classes, they used to do at least for 10 minutes. So suppose they have 8 classes, they're spending around 80 minutes. Or maybe if there's 6 classes, they're spending around 60 minutes. So when the research was conducted, it was found that the people or the children who were involved with this procedure or process, they were becoming more creative. They were the personality improved, they're more receptive, their memory become sharper, and they showed more willpower. Because as a kid, and I'm talking about this research, sorry, I forgot to mention about the age group. The age group was from 7 to 12. So in this age group, we all tend to because kids, they love game, they love activities. If you do not give them, you're just simply giving them information without any activity, they will get bored, right? Because being in a training session, if someone just pouring the information and there's nothing to talk about, then we all become bored. So yeah, so let me go back to the point where I was discussing. So the one bunch of people were doing quite well, and the other bunch of people were really struggling. So children who were not involved with yoga, they were like quite dull, and they were violent, they were restless, and they were really destructive at times. So this shows that we have to have an a course design where we also give space to yoga. And when yoga becomes that kind of part of curriculum, then obviously students are going to be benefited. So this is quite important. Now let's move on to the more related of classroom activity. Um, so you can take yoga, and the other thing is like the music. So we all talk about yoga, but what about music? So even bit of mild music as of Bach or some classical music or Mozart, these can also help the students. So I know it can be this little bit of distraction for them, but during the class time, suppose you feel like your students are a little dull, you can play the music for some 3 to 4 minutes, and just like they're relaxing and they are fine, the mind is calm, and then you can go for the yoga session or the yoga activities, because then they are relaxed, they gain their energy back, and then they are ready for the yoga session. And so one other thing is that how many of you are really aware like what's going on. I mean, I don't know whether it's the right question or wrong question, but sometimes our mind do wander a lot. So one of the simplest technique which is shared across by all gurus is to be aware of your breathe. So how you are breathing. So you can just check, you can just inhale and exhale and see like if your both nostrils are working, because sometimes one nostril is working and sometimes no other nostril is working. So that's little problematic. I think you can check and you can comment in the box. And yeah, so for kids, what we can do, I know they're not going to do like this. So we can make it interesting. If you tell or ask the kids or the students to okay do the breathe in and breathe out exercise, they will get bored. So the schools who are having a big clock with a big pendulum like this going back and forth, you can tell them that when the pendulum goes this way, you can breathe in, and with goes this way, you can breathe out, and they will love it. If your school does not have that kind of facility, you can do something else like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So the simple breathing exercise to be aware of the breath. So when we are aware of the breath, we are more focused and we know what we are doing. And this really develop our awareness. So I just talked about this thing that we talked about research, and then we talked about the music thing, then we talked about the breathing activity. And I'm not only going to talk about sports yoga and activities, I will also try to talk about a bit more about the classes and how to use the breaks wisely, because sometimes we do not use breaks wisely. And how many of you, like I know that most of you who have joined will be teachers, and I know that because GETI, Global Education and Training Institute, they promote quality education, and they always involve themselves in a training where people can get benefited from every dimension. So we as teachers, we have a very big and vital role to play, because we need to develop the students in every possible way. And when we include the activities, they not only become good with mind and body, they become really sharp, and they become really, or they, and this they develop the sense of cooperativeness as well, because yoga always knows how to add people, how to care for people, and because they are aware of everything going around. So this is the one simple technique to develop the awareness. And now I come to using the break wisely. So break always plays important role. We think that okay, the teacher is tired, he says okay, break time, we take the break and we are done. But if you just think little bit psychologically that what is the impact of break, I know you guys might say that we are into session, we also need a break, but the session is a for short time, so I won't be taking much of your valuable time. But why do we need a break? We need a break because we need to eat food, we need to do something. But in a classroom, if you just do bit of class management in a way where you're giving the break to students wisely, and you can let them do whatever they want in a disciplined manner, like you can tell them that okay, 5 minute break, and we can listen to some music, we can listen to some soothing or relaxing music, so they all of them can relax and calm their mind down and can restore that energy and be ready for the further session or for the further studies. So this is the one thing that can be done. After this, there's one more thing that I would like to share is the power of silence. And we always complain our students that they are not, listen to us. They are not listening to us. They make a lot of uh, problems, and there are a lot of disturbances, and I don't know how to silence them. But I would to suggest something that if you just know the rule of a stick, I don't think it will work, because then you are trying to, create fear in their mind, or maybe some of them become quite rebellious. So I used to be a rebellious student in my class. So when teacher will use to beat me, I used to say, okay, beat me more. I don't mind. It's okay. So when I'm crying, I'm still, not getting any, like I'm not improving myself, because, we are not animals. Animals are supposed to be in certain way, because you can be in A, B, C, like max three scenario can be there. But for us, there are like varieties of things, because human, they have a really complex behavior. So maybe because of the fear of stick, a student might think, okay, he will beat me, so I should rather be silent. So even he is not getting anything, he's just sitting silently. So there, as a teacher, your goal has failed. So what I'm suggesting, that once we try to have or have known the art of silence, we can utilize it. But to do that, we need to silence ourselves. So we take the whole class and we are like silent, and we are in silence for some times. So this way, students think, okay, silence is there. We can be silent. So you don't have to make them silent, but you just need to direct them in a way where they become silent, having told them the importance of being silent. So one thing you can add, some people might find it difficult being silent, they might get bored. So you can think that you can imagine something that you like. It could be a best moment of their life, it could be a best thing, or anything which is pleasant. So that way the mind also gets relaxed, and it's really helpful for the students. So these are all very important things, and these are all psychologically tested, that when we apply these things, we do have a really good positive impact on our students' mind, and they feel more connected to us, these kind of teachers, because they feel that someone is there to understand them. And it's very important also to develop a rapport with every student, because we as teachers, sometimes we had favorism for certain students, we do not like certain students, so our goal fails sometimes. For suppose you are outside and your student comes and he does not greet you, maybe you'll think that, oh, he's not a good student, I'm not gonna talk to him at all, I'll not support him. Then your role really fails, because then you're not showing any maturity. You need to be mature with these things. So even the students who are little naughty or mischievous, they do not respect you, it's okay, because you need to do good for them. Because after parents, it's our role. We are like second parents, and we know that in a family, whether we are naughty or bad, we do get a scolding and beating, but we can't do that in school. But what I'm suggesting, that maybe we should not take these things to our heart, and we should always try to work on the relationship between teacher and student, so that they can come to us and share their problems. Because the real problem starts, especially with those students who are not good in studies, is that they tend to escape from their parents as well as from their teachers, and then they think that they have no place to go. So when the parents scold them, they don't know what to do and how to deal with it, and that might result in something bad in the student's life. So I'd like to share some story. I know most of you must be knowing about Mullah Nasruddin, the person who used to be known for his humorous stories and incidents. So Mullah Nasruddin was near a well, and he had a pot, and that pot had a crack in it, and he was just taking the water and water, and he was not able to fill, obviously, because there is a crack in the pot, and he's not going to fill it. So people were asking that, what are you doing? It's not going to fill. And he was saying that I'm just taking it anyway, like I don't mind whether I get the water or not, I'm just doing it. So we cannot have this attitude of Mullah Nasruddin with our students. We need to make sure that our every student gets to do better in the classroom. I know it can be tough, challenging, but that's why we give so much importance to teacher and respect to teachers. So moving forward in the classroom, after conducting these things, activities and all, how these things will really affect the student in overall personality. So I have certain things, not only for students but also for teachers, that you need to stop comparing your students. So sometimes we say, okay, X is good, Y is not good. We need to stop comparing. We know that every student in his own way or her own way is really very unique. And we need to recognize that uniqueness. And then the second thing is competing, that we need to take away this thing of competing. So we always say, hey, he did better, she did better, they are not doing better, that's bad or something. I mean, you need to encourage students in a way where they feel that okay, they are also valued, and whatever they are doing, it's fine. And we just need to motivate them. And the other thing is judgment. So we should not judge students based upon his current knowledge, because we are all learning. And sometimes we become too choosy and judgmental about the things, but we need to give time to every students by motivating them. And there are other factors like anger. You should not express your anger to students. So some people come and express this anger, that I am not able to do this, that's why I was angry and I scolded the students. There shouldn't be anything like that. So these were like, I know that I'm little off topic, but these are also of equal importance. So then here yoga does not only work well for students, but also for teacher, because I know that teacher has to learn, otherwise he won't be able to learn or demonstrate how it should be done. So, so I think there should be always a space for some yogic activities in the classroom, in every classroom, I would say, because then they will not only be strong by the mind but also by the body. Because if you just see the fitness level of the students, they're like quite zero. They can't even run properly. So we need an India which is with knowledge and wisdom, but also with strength. So moving on after from this part to the other part is like certain other activities that what we can do to make more connection between teacher and student, is like some activities which teacher is demonstrating and a student are doing, or sometimes there's one student or there are a bunch of students, they are just requesting their teacher to do certain things. So that is the beginning of a level of friendship that teacher can develop by doing these things, and this also build trust. So one thing we all should know, that once in a person's mind, if there is a feeling that he cares for me or she cares for me, we also create that kind of feeling. So it's all about creating some good energy and vibe around the students and understand them and help them out. And then comes the another activities type, which is student to student. So all of us have a lot of things to share and say. And in a classroom, it becomes boring when a student is not getting anything to say at all. So this is also a part of activity. So you pick someone and tell them that, okay, for this day, you will be the teacher. You are going to teach something. Or maybe people, you can say that, okay, raise your hand, who is going to be the teacher today? And you can ask them to prepare some topic they feel comfortable and they can share. So in that sense, they can build the confidence and they can be quite happy that they have also got some chance to do. And this will create the awareness among the students that today he got a chance, tomorrow I might do something. I know some of them will be a little shy and their confidence level will not be that high. But gradually you need to motivate them and you need to work as a catalyst, that they also grow up as a student and grow up with confidence, because we know that confidence can do a lot of wonder. So these activities will always boost their confidence, and also the cooperativeness among the students. So there is a lot of like there is a lot of things about competitiveness, but we don't need competitiveness because at the end, it is a really bad thing. It becomes something as devastating. So suppose I'm in competition with Alok, and then I might feel bad because he's doing quite well, I'm not doing quite well, and this will demotivate me. But suppose there's a sense of cooperativeness. So suppose what I know, he shares me with me, and what he knows, I just knows from him. I know from him. So that's the thing we can do. And the other thing that comes is the audio and video. Suppose both student and teacher are sitting together and listening to something. So it could be audio, like listening to some song, or listening to something like music, or suppose someone is talking about the flower, and we just close our eyes and even open eyes, and we just try to visualize like what kind of flower the person is talking about. Or suppose when I say or take one example of a cup of tea, that okay, a cup of tea, and then I ask the student, okay, what is the color of your cup? Someone say white, someone can say black, someone can say purple or other things. So this way, a whole bunch of students are getting chance to respond, and every person is getting something to share. So I will tell you one good thing about idea. That idea is like idea is not like money. So when you give someone 1 rupee, you don't have that rupee. But when you share the idea, you still have that idea. So this is the beauty of sharing and exchanging the idea, because it still remains with you and it is with you. I will quickly share some more, like making it little short and be specific. So the other, I will talk about three more activities. And these are all based upon cooperativeness, the concept of cooperativeness, like how to develop the sense of cooperativeness among students through some activities. So these are think, pair, and share. So you can give one topic to the whole class, and you can divide them in a group. So you can take them in a group of 3, in a group of 4, in a group of 5, based upon your class strength. So you can give them a topic and they can think about it, they can pair, and then both of them will share, not only one. So suppose there are two pair, then both of them can share about that. And the next one is brainstorming. I really like brainstorming. I know most of you would, because brainstorming gives you the chance to think about what you might not think when you do not brainstorm. So there are like some people, they are brainstorming, thinking, what is that, what is this, and trying to figure it out, like what can be done. So brainstorming is really a good exercise for students. Gives them enough confidence that they can do some problem solving. So you can give them, okay, there's some certain problem of uh, like some classroom issue, then they can discuss something on that. And then the other one is like the buzz session. So there are 4 to 5 people, and all of them has to say something on a particular topic. Like there's a particular topic, and everyone has to express their views on that topic. So that also gives cooperativeness, because everyone is prepared and they know that who is going to speak what. And this creates a good sense of friendship. And people are always there to cooperate and support each other. And last but not the least, there are other things like interactive learning games. We have crossword puzzles, pair matching, and jigsaw puzzles. So these are like pretty much important things. And I think I am pretty much done with it. So if there's any question or anything from your end, you can shoot. And I would always encourage you guys to, you know, so especially people who are teachers, to read bit of psychology and on psychology of education, because we know we have a lot of thing to read and we have a lot of activities to do. But I think our life will be successful, especially the life of a teacher, when our students are really doing well. So I think I am done with this, and wishing everyone all the very best. that you might have, been benefited with this session. And yeah, thank you so much for giving me your time. And thanks a lot again to Global Education and Training Institute for having me here. Thank you,
Thank
Alok.
you, sir, for giving the wonderful ideas and the thoughts to the teachers and to the audience. And I think they will be feeling blessed right now. And I am also feeling blessed. Like you have told about the not to compete, not to compare. So I just wanted to tell you that in global education, we are actually using that methodology that Dr. Gandhi has done, that CWY, that is compare with yourself.
Right.
Okay, so we are also working on that, and that's a very nice idea. And thank you once again, and thank you,
Thank you so
audience,
much.
for watching this wonderful session. And keep watching Disruptive Education Movement. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anjali sir.
Thank you, Alok.